How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to the Philadelphia Flyers franchise mode, episode number 21, headed into the 2028 postseason. Now, as you can probably hear right now, my throat has taken a bit of a beating this weekend. Working Monday to Friday, plus working with a children's program on the weekend, I'm doing a lot of talking, usually in a loud voice, and my throat has taken a beating. I'm feeling great, I'm not congested, it's just the throat that's a little bit sore. But with NHL 22 wrapping up and NHL 23 around the corner, the show must go on, because before I get into this episode, you may have seen a community post here on the channel with the upcoming schedule. Today, the day of this upload, October 4th, we have the 2028 postseason in just a couple days, so get your thoughts in ASAP. On October 6th, we'll have the 2028 off-season. Then on Saturday, October 8th, we'll have the entirety of the 2029-30 season live here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern, maybe even more. Maybe we do a couple seasons even if things are going well. And then on Wednesday, October 12th, we'll have the entire series wrap up, probably simming to around year number 20, as hopefully we'll wrap up around year number 8, 9, 10. Then we can just do a simulation for about 10 years, get to year number 20, and wrap it up and get ready for NHL 23. Also in that community post in the comments section, be sure to leave your suggestions for which team you would like to see us take over for our first series in NHL 23. Leave a comment with your suggestion. I like the comments of other suggestions. And then on Sunday, October 9th, before the October 13th release date of NHL 23, I will post a poll with the top 3 or 4 options from that initial post. And on that poll, you will vote for which team we take over in NHL 23. So I'll remind you of all that information towards the end of this video. As you can see, it's a long video. It's over, it's usually around an hour 20, 30, 40 plus long, because if it's your first time following along with us here in Philadelphia, I don't want to spoil how we do in the postseason. We could lose in round number 1, and you know that because the video is 40 minutes long. So I never want to spoil it. I want you to be reacting with me. In the last one, in the 2027-28 regular season, we posted our best franchise record with 57 wins, the most in Philadelphia Flyers history. Patrick Laine led the team in scoring here in his 3rd season with the Flyers. 30 goals, his lowest that he scored with us so far, but 63 assists for a 93-point season. Really good to see from the guy we're paying $11.55 million. Wayne Peterson had a great season on that first line center role. 34 goals from the reigning Conn Smythe winner. And of course, William Nylander also profiting on that first line as he scored 87 points. So it was a great season from all these players. Our captain, Claude Giroux, is still getting it done at the age of 40. Josh Parros, our sniper. Our bottom 6 was performing quite well. And on defense, of course, reigning Norris Trophy winner, Moritz Seider, had a 65-point season. So I won't recap everything, as you can see that in the last episode. But it was also a historic season, because our backup, Eve Gascon, the first woman in NHL history to start a game, to win a game, to get a shutout, and hey, to do all that in her first career start as well. She started and ended the season with shutout victories, 10, 7, and 1 on the season with 3 shutouts as our full-time backup to Thatcher Demko, who may be on track for a Vezina Trophy win after 47, 17, and 1 season, 7 shutouts, 922 save percentage, 2.35 goals against average. What a season here in Philly, and we are ready to get this postseason underway. When it comes to what we had to think about headed into this postseason, the assistant general managers just had some lineup ideas, so let's dive into the comments. So in the last episode, a lot of the comments were very excited about how Eve Gascon performed in her first season. Scott saying a banner lifting ceremony and the first regular season start and win and shutout by a woman in NHL history. Yes, sir. Cheating Heel saying we need more of this, in terms of I've been uploading every 2 or 3 days the last couple of weeks to try and get this series as far as possible for NHL 23. GM Data's gonna have to do a new video each day. Well, I'm trying my best, buddy. Our offense is insane. If someone gets injured or goes on a slump, we have lots of options. Looks like Adam Pelech heard the trade rumors and stepped up his game so we don't trade him. He did. Eve Gascon exceeded my expectations as a backup. I didn't think that she'd be putting up those kinds of numbers for another year or 2. Time to get that cup. Thank you. MVL12K7, longtime viewer. Wow, Ev for the first ever win, and on top of that with a shutout. Way to go, Data. LOL, that's deserving of a screenshot, and send that to EA Sports. That team is a monster, second coming of the 90s Detroit team. Hey, if we get back-to-back Stanley Cups, we'd definitely be getting close to dynastic territory. And final YouTube comment coming from Etch, who said the top 5 teams in the league were all from the East. What a crazy year. The 3rd best team in the league and the 4th best team in the league will be playing each other in the first round. Carolina and New York playing each other with the 3rd and 4th place finishes there. We were 2nd place right behind the Toronto Maple Leafs just by 1 point, even though we had the 57 wins. So a crazy year in the Eastern Conference. The Minnesota Wild winning the West with 50 wins, while in the East there's all those teams with 50 to 57 wins. So it's not going to be easy to come out of the Eastern Conference, but we did it last year. We swept rounds 1 and 2, then rounds 3 and 4 were both 7-game thrillers, so I hope you're excited because I certainly am. Over in the Discord server, 3 people this past season correctly predicting Patrik Laine as the highest scorer on the team. Savoie had a few votes. Paros and Peterson both had a lot of votes. A couple of votes for Sider to repeat. But a shout out to EJB Elite, Jack, and Derek, who all correctly predicted Laine. Derek leaving a comment that William Nylander completed his 2nd straight season without being a total fraud in his words. But it is worth noting, Nylander has had 0 fraudulent seasons since Derek called him a fraud, and yet he had at least 1 fraudulent season before he was called a fraud. So for the good of the team as we head into the playoffs, I say this: beware Nylander, he is fraudulent. This spat of production is all part of his elaborate con. Let us just hope he keeps the con up for the postseason before revealing his fraudulent colors. Congratulations, Patrik Laine, for leading the team in scoring, and congratulations to me for knowing you would do it. I was right about you, just like Nylander. Congratulations to GM Data, our whole team, and the Flyers organization for one of the most successful seasons in franchise history. This was years in the making and well-deserved all around. No real suggestions. This is the fun part, the relaxing part, the calm before the storm of the postseason, and the crucible that turns great teams into dynasties. Very well said, Derek. And I'll close it out with Dabrowskiego, who said, I think having Giroux with the season he had being put on the second line is an amazing decision. He will definitely spark morale that isn't even enabled into the Flyers' top 6. So with Matthew Savoie injured as the second line centerman, that's why we're slotting Giroux up. If Giroux, probably not, stays around next season and plays like he did this season at 40 plus years of age, he should be on that line for the rest of his career instead of being shoved on the 4th. Laine is honestly an amazing player and should be in contention for the captaincy along with Sider after Giroux leaves the league. I think Laine will perform like he is for hopefully the rest of his career unless he is rattled with injuries, which thankfully he wasn't this season. Honestly, with Giroux being the only major change in the top 6, the team should remain having these forward lineups entering the postseason. With Eve Gascon, she had a terrific first season with us. She has so much potential as a full-time starter when we lose Demko, and if we don't re-sign him, which is probably unlikely in 3-4 years time, we'll have prospects coming in the system, and it shows that she will be here to stay with Philly. I really love the Demko-Gascon combo, and I hope she and Demko perform like they did for this season and for years to come. I really have no comment on the defense lineups. I can't really say much because the defensive depth is amazing. I really think that we should have no major change to the defense during the playoffs. This season proved so much for the Flyers and one of our best yet. I think this regular season could point to a deep playoff run. Could this playoff lead to a second heaven? Let's go Flyers. Thank you very much. So headed into round number 1, we are facing the 40, 30, and 12 Florida Panthers, who have quite the lineup, especially on their first line. Huberdeau, Barkov, and Reinhart on the first, Mikheyev, Lundell, Bunting the second, Balcers, Nikkanen, and Wade Allison, former Flyer, on the third, Mason Shaw, Gaudette, and Bluger. Defense, Zaboral, Ekblad, Marino, Timmins, Clifton, and Matt Roy. Goaltending, it's Spencer Knight at an 89 overall, backed up by Eric Comrie. Spencer Knight is the one who really scares me because this season he had incredible numbers, 10 shutouts, probably the biggest challenger to Demko for the Vezina Trophy. 2 postseasons ago, I think they won the Cup, I'm pretty sure. He went 15-3-3 in the postseason. 2 shutouts, 929 save percentage, 2.23 goals against. So Spencer Knight knows how to play, especially in the postseason. It's going to be a very good matchup here with the Florida Panthers. We are a great team this season with our 57 wins, but we are missing Matthew Savoie, which is disappointing. I made the lineup changes. Well, I will make actually the lineup changes. We do see Giroux coming up to the second line this season as a 40-year-old. He put up 51 points, 23 goals and 28 assists. Great stuff from the captain. He'll play with Paros and Puljujärvi, and he'll get a lot of the special teams time that Savoie had. So wherever Douglas is, Giroux will be replacing him. On defense, we'll keep the pairs as they have been, but Adam Pelech is also injured right now. So we're missing an 86 overall D-man and an 85 overall centerman. It's you know, thank goodness we have the depth to replace, but they're definitely noticeable injuries. So if today is April 17th, we see Pelech should be back on the 24th. There's no date for Savoie, but I'm 99.9% sure it was at the end of April as well, so it won't be into May. But Pelech, we're not sure if he'll return in round number 1. We'll see what we can do without them and hopefully end that series quickly here with the Panthers and get into round number 2 fully healthy and rejuvenated. So the lineup has been set. For the special teams, we'll see Peterson on the first unit, Giroux on the second unit. We have a lot of returning faces from the Stanley Cup champion team last season. We have 2 new rookies in Pekka and Paco. We have Douglas, who's filling in as a healthy scratch. On defense, it is exactly the same, I believe, as last season, but Robertson playing more than he did because he was more of a 7th D. And of course, F. Gascon now here. But most of these players have a Stanley Cup ring. They have the experience. They have been here. Many of them also through a lot of the pain here in Philadelphia, especially our 40-year-old captain, Claude Giroux. So without further ado, let's get this postseason started. Game 1, round 1 at the Wells Fargo Center, starting our Stanley Cup defense. Remember that last year we started the postseason with like a 10-game winning streak. That's not our goal here, but let's come out with a bang and put the NHL on notice and let them know that we are not messing around. First period action, 0-0, outshooting Florida 13-9. Second period action, now 2-1 Flyers as Morgan Frost opens up the scoring here in the postseason, and Wayne Peterson 6 minutes later makes it a 2-0 game. Then Alex Barkov cuts the lead to 1. So headed into the final 20 minutes, third period action. Shots are 28-17 in our favor, and we're up by 1 thanks to Wayne Peterson. Morgan Frost had a very low goal scoring season, so nice to see him getting things started for us in that second period. And Paros makes it 3-1 with Claude Giroux as his centerman. Power play Florida, and Barkov scores his second of the night to tie it up. But then William Nylander gifts us the 2-goal lead. 4-2 Flyers, and that'll be all she wrote. 4-2 the final, as the first line, the top guns, the big dogs came out to eat in this one. Shots end 41-25. Florida's captain, Barkov, tried to carry them through, but it wasn't enough. 3 assists from Patrick Laine, a goal and assist from Peterson. Love to see it, and that's a Game 1 victory. All right, so great to see the offense coming out, the big dogs feasting a little bit there in game number 1. Spencer Knight allowing 4. We can't expect that every night. Barkov broke through twice, and we gave up a power play goal to boot, so we got to get a little more tight defensively. Game 2 at home, let's take them both in front of the home fans here at the Wells Fargo Center. Let's hit it. First period action, 0-0 once again, just like last game, but this game, Florida outshoots us 14-6. My goodness. So they're really not too happy after last game. They know they have the offensive firepower. Second period, let's show them what we got. Ooh, 1-0 Panthers, excuse me, as Aaron Ekblad scores with 27 seconds left in the period. Ooh, only 6 shots again for us in this period. As this, in the second period, we were only outshot, what, 8-6? But still 22-12 after 40. Down by 1. Head into the third period, make it down by 2. 11 seconds in, Nikkanen scores. We're down by 2. Power play for Florida now, and it's a power play goal from Ekblad. When it rains, it pours. Power play opportunity again. We killed that one off. Power play for Florida once more. My God, shorthanded goal now for them. What is happening? What a horrible game this was. Outshot 34-18. Wow. And this one ends 4-0 the final. 21 save shutout for Spencer Knight. 35-21 were the shots. We gave up, was it 1 power play goal or 2 power play goals? 1 power play and 1 shorthanded goal. Who is taking these penalties here? So we took interference minor, hooking minor, slashing minor, and that's it. So just no penalties in the first and second, but then 3 back-to-back minors in the third. That's what killed us. That's what killed us right there, guys. That's disgusting. 4-0 loss in game number 2 to tie this series up at 1. That's not what, you know, I understand Spencer Knight stealing a game or something like that. That should not be happening. We're being outshot to that extent. So after scoring 4 goals in game number 1 and having 4 scored against us in game number 2, we now come into game number 3 having been outscored technically 6-4 in the last 2 games. Yet the series is tied at 1. It's a best of 5 now as we head to BB&T Center in Sunrise, Florida. It's a beautiful, beautiful April morning where the plane's coming in, everyone's rejuvenated, and we are ready for hockey. First period, 2-0 Panthers. Ekblad on the power play to open it up, and Mikheyev makes it 2-0 shortly after. Shots are 14-10. We're getting shots on net. That's good, but we're losing 2-0 after 20. Second period action, 3-3. That's what we like to see. Okay. Wayne Peterson opens up our scoring to bring us within 1 on the power play. Ekblad reestablishes the 2-goal lead with his second of the night and third of the series, but then Laine followed by Joey Pekka at his first career playoff goal make it a 3-3 game. Shots are 28-20 in our favor, and we're all tied up headed into the third period. It's anyone's game. Power play Florida early in the third. It's an extended one, and Mikheyev scores his second to give Florida the lead. These penalties are killing me, but the captain, Claude Giroux, ties it up at 4. For some reason, Comrie's there, and Moritz Seider gives us the first lead of the night with 8.5 minutes to go. 5-4 Philly with 3 minutes left in this one. It's a tight matchup, 9 goals scored in total, and the Flyers hang on for the victory. The captain, followed by his heir apparent, giving us the victory here in the third period. Shots and 37-33 for the Flyers. Who took that extended penalty? Paros with the minor followed by... Okay, it was back-to-back minors. 3 seconds after we killed it off, Sanheim took a hooking minor. Fantastic. 5-4 Flyers victory. 3 stars in this one. Peterson a goal and an assist. That's the only Flyer, as Mikheyev and Ekblad both had a couple goals plus. Oh my goodness. All right. So, again, we allowed too many, but this time our scoring came through to negate it. I would rather we score and don't get scored on, but I will take the win nonetheless. Alright, so a big win in game number 3. The scouting's been updated, and now we head into game number 4, looking to win this one and go back home with an opportunity to end the series. As I've been saying, we've been scoring, that's great, but we got to limit the goals coming against as well. The defense has been solid this year. I know Pelech is not in the lineup, but we got to hold down the fort here, boys. Looking for a big win to take both in Florida after a big third period comeback in game number 3. First period starts off with a power play goal, of course. The penalty kill's killing me. Reinhardt early power play goal. Barkov's makes it 2-0. Laine makes it a 2-1 game, thankfully, but then Adam Gaudette just a minute and a half after that, minute 20, minute 19. Shots are 11-9 for Florida, and we're down 3-1, down by 2. 3 goals on 11 shots in that first period. Second period now, goal apiece. Wayne Peterson draws us within 1, but then again, a power play goal against. Rudolph Balcers. What's going on? Penalties. Pekka holding minor and Peterson tripping minor, but our 2 power plays go nowhere. Of course. Third period, we're now down by 2. Outshooting Florida 22-19. Power play early, and there it is. Thank you, Wayne Peterson. Power play again, and there's Hugo Brisebois. Merci beaucoup. But then Mikheyev on the power play. That's the 3rd power play goal against. We'd be up 4-2 if it weren't for the penalty kill, giving up these goals. And now we're down by 1 here in the third after we scored 2 early goals. Great job by Peterson and Brisebois, and that's it. Of course. Squandered. Squandered. We score 4, but we allow 6. Squandered. Shots end tied at 29. Not even, it was 78 shots? 10 goals on 78 shots in this game? Unbelievable. Barkov another 2 goals. Huberdeau another 3 assists. Wayne Peterson scores twice. And we lose 6-4. And just like that, our wins, our goals squandered. It's a 2-2 series and now a best of 3 headed back to Philadelphia. Pelech, thankfully, is fully healed. He'll be back in the lineup. We need that defensive help. If we need anybody, it's Adam Pelech right now. So going on defense, coming out would be Robertson or Risto. Yeah, we're going to take out Risto, unfortunately. So only fix up the defense. Alright, so Pelech is back in the lineup. Matthew Savoie is currently at a playable injury. Curtis Douglas, 4 games, -2. 6'8" monster, has been doing what he can. Thatcher Demko right now, 868 save percentage. I gotta see a lot of better things with Pelech back in the lineup. play with a little bit more, hop in your step, a little pep in your step, whatever you want to call it, with a more reliable defense back there on the blue line. Oh, Savoie fully healed. Okay, we are back to full strength headed into game number 5. Let's fix up this lineup once more. All right, so the Flyers are back to full strength. The team that got 50-plus wins. Savoie, second line center. Instead of putting Giroux back on the fourth, we're going to go Giroux on the third line with Frost on his wing. Fourth line will be Lindblom, Pekka, and Mayorov. Back at home for game number 5, the Wells Fargo Center. It's a series that is tied at 2 and now a best of 3. We're back to full strength. We know we can score, but once again, we need to limit those goals coming in into our net, for lack of a better term. Pelech is on defense. Savoie's added to that top 6 threat. Let's do it. And the penalty kill altered a little bit as well. First period, 0-0. Shots 10-9 for the Panthers. Second period, no scoring once again. Now it's us who are up by 1 shot, 20-19. The shots in our favor, and Hugo Brisebois, 20 seconds into the third period, gives us the first goal of the night. And Eric Comrie currently between the pipes for the Panthers. He came into a previous game. I forgot to check on Spencer Knight's injury status, but it's 1-0 halfway through the third period. Comrie versus Demko. 5 minutes to go now. Shots are 33-29 in the final 2 minutes of this one. Final push in the last minute. Thank goodness I saw a goal. I was thinking Florida. Artem Mayorov, the Ukrainian, adds the empty netter with 1 second left. And the Flyers win this one by a score of 2-0. Shots 36-30. After we harped on Demko a little bit, he makes 30 saves to get the shutout. 27 saves from Eric Comrie. He did well in relief. And Hugo Brisebois with the game-winning goal. 3e étoile pour lui. So we win a huge game right there, shutting out the Panthers. We are now up 3-2 in this series with a chance to end it in Florida at the BB&T Center. The addition of Pelech helped, maybe made Demko a little bit more confident there between the pipes, and now we have a chance to close it out in 6 games. We don't want to let this go to 7. Anything can happen in 7. We know we're strong enough. We're at full strength. Play with that confidence. Go out there. Leave it all on the ice, boys. First period, 1-0 Philly. William Nylander on the power play. Spencer Knight now back between the pipes, so that was just a one-game thing. Comrie helping out in relief. Shots 13-8 for Florida after 20, but 1-0 Philly thanks to the power play. Second period now, 1-1. Jonathan Huberdeau with his first of the series, or second of the series. 23-14 the shots for Florida. They're really coming hard in that second period. Now it comes down to this third and final period. Power play Philly early. It's an extended one. I think it was or it wasn't. By the way, it's killed off by the Florida Panthers. 25-18 the shots for Florida. Still a 1-1 game. We're fighting to push to round 2. The Flyers are fighting to push to game 7. They're outshooting us by a very strong margin, but we're coming back. We're hanging on tight. 2 minutes to go in this one. Final minute, and we're headed to overtime. Shots 32-22 for the Panthers. Overtime here in Florida. A goal for the Flyers will put them through to the second round, but a goal for the Panthers will push this series to 7. There were a couple comments in the last one saying that true broadcast might be a good idea. Hold on, Barkov backhand save from Demko. But I gotta say, in my experience with trying to call games, although true broadcast is more realistic, it makes it very hard to see line A through traffic. Nylander can't get it. It makes it very hard to see the names. Like right now in the corner, that happening right there, I would not be able to see a single thing happening. And that's, we wanted to see it because Ekblad just took 2 for interference, and it's a power play now for the Flyers. Very weird call because the puck was right there. But the top D-man for the Panthers, okay, a bit of a soft call. I could see it, but pretty soft. And Ekblad will go to the box for 2 minutes for interference. And the Flyers now go to the power play. Morgan Frost carrying it up, gives it to Matthew Savoie, fully healthy, looking to make something happen. Gives it over to Frost, the point. Nylander, ooh, trying to get it in front for the one-timer, but Timmins clears it out. 20 seconds going to power play now. It's Jesse Puljujärvi. He's a big boy. Puljujärvi over to Nylander. Great lane. Tries to pull a deke instead of shooting. Just the AI decision making. Forget skating into the wall, into the boards, whatever. Just the decision making of when to shoot and when to deke, stuff like that. So broken. Power play expires without even doing like really anything whatsoever. Seider's shot is blockered away by Spencer Knight. Anton Lundell over to Mikheyev. Big kick save from Demko. Puljujärvi corrals that. Little windmill glove save from Spencer Knight. Great release there from Puljujärvi. Offensive zone faceoff here for the fourth line. Joey Pekka ties him up. Balcers gets it. Mayorov regains. Now Plekhanov at the point. Lindblom. Mayorov! Swallowed up by Knight. Nikkanen coming in over the blue line. Looking for something. Stops up that slap shot one-timer there. Could not make it through traffic as it hit a couple sticks along the way. Wayne Peterson coming in. Scores! Wayne Peterson just coming in with that beautiful, like, that candor, that swagger over the blue line. And the Panthers are through to the second round. What a wonderful play. Just great puck control. Walks in and wrists it by a couple D-men and through Spencer Knight. We'll see that replay in a second. Giroux and Barkov shaking hand. There'll probably be a little gray in that hair for Claude Giroux. Nylander, Reinhart, Demko, Spencer Knight. What a series. As the Panthers would have seemingly had this one. Big hit there from Seider on Ekblad earlier on. With the shots being, what, 36-27. You would have thought that maybe the Panthers would have taken this one, but it's a 35 save performance from Thatcher Demko. Big couple games from him. Peterson walks in, nice little side move, splits the D, through Zaborov's legs, and Spencer Knight never saw that one coming. Beautifully placed, and the Flyers win it 2-1 in overtime to win round number 1 in 6 games. Alright, so big wins over Florida there, 2-0 and 2-1 in games 5 and 6 respectively. Let's move on, let's get healthy, and let's see who our opponent will be in round number 2. Rest up and talk to you in a couple days. Hold on, AHL playoffs, that's done. Now, 3 days later, we will see our opponent is the Carolina Hurricanes, a team that went 50, 22, and 10. So in round number 1, the Hurricanes took down the Rangers in 6, the Red Wings took down the Senators in 6, and the Maple Leafs finally made it out of round number 1 in 2028 as they took down the Lightning in 7. Over in the West, it's Nashville, Anaheim, and Edmonton, St. Louis. We know the Hurricanes are a good team, one of the top 5 in the NHL. I forget if they were 3rd or 4th, but we were 2nd. It's very close for a second-round matchup. The Hurricanes have a first line of Teravainen, Jarvis, and Svechnikov. Second line, Nybeck, Nechas, and Bertuzzi. Gunler, Kotkaniemi, and Leeson on the 3rd. Hosang, Dargachintsev, and Dominic Bach on the 4th. Defense, they have Dunn and this guy, Bedřich Mrázek, 89 overall defensive defenseman from the Czech Republic. Look at him. 96 shot blocking, 5-star physical, 6'3", sheesh. With Dobson and Larson and Fervery and Havlid on the 3rd. Between the pipes, they have Kochetkov, 87 overall. Pretty solid numbers, 9-10 save percentage in the postseason here. 42 win year, 6 shutouts. Very good record with the Hurricanes. He's been their starter for a few years now. He's backed up by 78 overall Sergei Bobrovsky. Pelletsi, Chemlevsky, and Ryan Poehling, all healthy scratches for the Hurricanes. Point total, 7 points in 6 games. For Teravainen, 9 and 6 for Jarvis, 5 assists for Svechnikov, 3 goals for Bertuzzi, 7 points for Nechas. Zion Nybeck, the 4th-round pick in 2020, 4 goals and 5 points in 6 games. Alrighty, so round number 2 up against the Carolina Hurricanes. Our lineup will not change. I think we're ready to just keep on rolling. At the Wells Fargo Center, we are at home. Lehigh Valley just getting injured left and right, but they're doing very well down in the AHL. Round number 1, they swept. Round number 2, here they are with a 4-3 win over Hershey to start it off. But here we are starting off round number 2. Wayne Peterson, 5 goals, 8 points in 6 games. Looking to repeat as Conn Smythe winner, but to do that, you got to win that Stanley Cup or at least get to the final. So here we are, 1 round down, 3 rounds to go. Game 1, round 2, let's hit it. First period, 1-1. Patrick Laine opens up the scoring, and Vince Dunn ties it up. Shots 12-7 for the Hurricanes. Second period action, 3-2 Philly. Joey Pekka down on the 4th line makes it 2-1, and Laine's second of the night makes it 3-1. The Hurricanes get scoring from their 4th line as Josh Hosang brings the Hurricanes within 1 once again. Shots 24-18 for the Hurricanes, but the Flyers are up 3-2 headed into the 3rd. Power play Carolina start off the period, killed off. Once again, power play opportunity, 2 and 5 minutes, killed off. Power play for Philly, killed off. 3 power plays, and Wayne Peterson, even strength, makes it 4-2. Still being outshot. Power play Philly again late in the 3rd. Killed off once more. 4 power plays, all gone to nothing. At 3 minutes to go in the 3rd, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and that'll be all she wrote as Svechnikov adds a goal with 17 seconds to go. The Hurricanes outshoot the Flyers 36-33, but Philly hangs on for the 4-3 victory. Patrick Laine, first star with 2 goals. Peterson a goal and an assist, and William Nylander, William Nylander getting an assist gives him third-star honors. Why not? Wayne Peterson now 6 goals and 10 points through 7 games. Love to see it from the first-line centerman. And that's a big first-game victory. Great to be scoring 4 or 5 per game. Remember, we want to limit the other team to 1 or 2 because the offense won't always be there to bail us out. We have an elite goalie. We have elite defense. Let's show it. Game 2 in front of the home fans. Let's make it, let's take both at home, headed into Carolina with a 2-0 lead. First period, 2-1 Philly. Kotkaniemi opens up the scoring, but then Laine on the power play, 3 goals in 2 games, ties it up. And then Josh Parros makes it 2-1. Shots 12-9 for Philly after 20. Second period, Dobson ties it up early, and the second period ends 3-2 for the Hurricanes as Teravainen adds a power play goal. Shots tied at 17, and now we are down by 1, headed into the third. Power play early for Philly, killed off by the Hurricanes. 5 minutes into the period, shots still in the Carolina Hurricanes' favor, but Josh Parros scores his second of the night to tie it up at 3. Power play, Hurricanes killed off by the Flyers, and we have a 3-3 game with 50 minutes played and 10 minutes left to go. Final 5 minutes now. It's a 3-3 game. Late heroics from Haviland, the third pair defenseman on the Hurricanes. 20 seconds. Oh, that's a tough loss. As the shots end 28-26 for the Hurricanes, but they win it 4-3. Parros with 2 goals, Sider 2 assists. But we have a 1-1 series, and just like in round number 1, it will be a best of 5 here in round number 2. Both Western Conference series also tied at 1, and in the East, it is 2-0 for the Leafs right now. All right, Game 3 from PNC Arena in Carolina. Not looking to make any line changes yet. 4-3 win, 4-3 loss. Let's see what game number 3 has for us now in Carolina territory. First period, 1-0 Hurricanes. Chmelevski, who's in the lineup, came out of the healthy scratches, 1-0. Second period, 1-1 Matthew Savoie, his first of the postseason, I believe. Shots are 20-19 for the Hurricanes after 40, but it's a 1-1 game with anything. Hold on, power play, 5-on-3, and Patrick Laine, you've got to capitalize on that. Gives us a power play goal early, and we're now up by 1. Power play Carolina now. We kill that one off, and now Claude Giroux on the power play makes it 3-1 Philly. Power play once again, taking advantage of those opportunities. Another power play for Philly. This time killed. That's back-to-back kills for the Hurricanes. But they allow 2 power play goals. Hold on, late goal from Jarvis. Final minute, and the Hurricanes will not have enough. 2 power play goals from Laine and Giroux in the third period give us the win. Shots end 29-27 for the Flyers, and we come away with the victory. Demko 25 saves, Laine and Giroux a goal and an assist apiece, and we are up 2-1 in this series. Tight games. Ooh, no! It's only until May 15th, thankfully. Only 2 weeks. Hugo Brisebois out for 2 weeks with a fractured jaw. Out 13 days. So coming up to play with Pelech will be Sanheim. And coming on the third pair with Robertson will be Risto. But that hurts. I'll have to make some line changes here to accommodate that. So the lines without Brisebois have been set. We're going to miss him. He had 2 goals, 2 assists. He had 4 points through 9 games. Was logging over 20 minutes of ice time per night. It's a hole in the lineup, absolutely, but Sanheim knows how to play in that top 4 role. There have been very tight games. 4-3 win, 4-3 loss, 3-2 win. It often comes down to that 1 goal. We just have to be a little bit better and keep it up here in game number 4 against the Hurricanes on the road, trying to steal both at PNC Arena. 13 points in 9 games from Patrick Laine. Let's keep those big dogs eating. First period, 3-1 Hurricanes. Bertuzzi scores, then Giroux ties it back up, and then Bach on the power play, and Jarvis. Even strength. We only got 4 shots on net in the whole period. Shots 15-4. Are outscored, thankfully, only 3-1. Come on, boys. There's no excuse for that. Brisebois being on the lineup is not an excuse to only have 4 shots in 20 minutes. That's disgusting. We're better than this. Show what you have. Second period. There we go. Laine has to be the man carrying all of you. And then Matthew Savoie after that ties it up. Shots are still 23-14, but we have a 3-3 game headed into the third period. There's a big 2-goal period from the Flyers, shutting out the Hurricanes in that period. Let's see more of the same here in the third. Let's get some shots on net. Let's go. Let's test Kochetkov. 3-3 game power play, and Chmelevski shorthanded shorthanded, but then Wade Peterson ties it back up at 4. Second shorthanded goal we've given up this postseason. My goodness. Thank you, Wayne Peterson, for scoring, being disgusted, and scoring like 22 seconds after that, 20 whatever. Final minute, and that's all she wrote. 33-24, the shots for the Hurricanes after 60. We're off to overtime. Overtime here in game number 4 in Carolina. A goal for the Flyers puts them up 3-1, headed back to Philadelphia. But a goal from the Hurricanes totally changes this series. Ties it up at 2, makes it a best of 3. Jarvis walking in. Big save there from Demko. Now here's big Patrick Laine, leading the team in points in the regular season and so far through the postseason. Laine still has it. Svechnikov takes it off, but Seider regains it to the blue line. Laine looking to set up again, gives it back to Plekhanov, across to Seider, now down to Peterson. Nylander, good cycle. Nice blocker save from Kochetkov. Circles back a couple times, then gets it across to Wayne Peterson. Peterson gets bumped and gives it up. And hold on, power play. Yeah, what happened there? I thought it was offside, but no, interference call. Coming up to the Hurricanes, Svechnikov 2 for interference. Power play Philadelphia now. Just a minute 25 into overtime. Just giving Peterson a couple extra bumps there. The captain of the Hurricanes. All right. Power play Philly on the road. Didn't do anything for Florida when Ekblad took that penalty. But let's see how we do there. We are 23.3% on the power play this postseason. Offensive zone face-off for the second unit. Matthew Savoie's out there. We're 0 for 1 with 1 shot on the night. Lose the draw, dump it down. Classic. Peterson on the draw, gets it back to Seider. Laine can't release just soon enough. Frost, Peterson, right into Kochetkov for the easy save. A minute gone on this power play so far. The first unit is out and hungry. Seider up to Parros. He has Laine with him, gets through 1. Parros all alone! Big kick save from a sprawling Kochetkov. What happened here? Power play once more, interference. Who's getting a penalty here? Power play for Noah Dobson. It's gonna be 5-on-3 for the Flyers. Noah Dobson gives an extra push to Parros. A bit of a weak call. His arm doesn't even go up, but we'll take it. Noah Dobson, another interference penalty against the Hurricanes, and it's a 5-on-3 power play now for the Flyers for another 49 seconds. What a sprawling save from Kochetkov as Parros had a great chance. Savoie wins it back to Frost. Over to Puljujarvi. To Seider. On net, big boy. Big blocker save, and Puljujarvi can't tuck it in. On the doorstep, Nylander can't get it either. Puljujarvi to the point. It's Frost. Seider. Can't get it through. Nylander backhand. Swallowed up by Kochetkov. Good cycling. Couple great shots, but Kochetkov making miracles for the Hurricanes. Savoie wins the draw back to Seider. Puljujarvi going across the crease is Kochetkov. In front, Savoie. Stopped again by the glove of Kochetkov. To the point. No, nobody's there. Frost regrouping now. Morgan Frost, can he re-enter the zone? No, he cannot, and Natchez will dump that down as the 5-on-3 is almost over. What saves from Kochetkov? Savoie up to Nylander, still a 5-on-3. Puljujarvi, 6'4", he gets hit off the puck, and once again cleared down. Frost over to Seider. First penalty is killed. It's a 5-on-4 now for the Flyers. Savoie over to Puljujarvi. Now to Nylander. Put it on net. Puljujarvi, Savoie. No one wants to shoot. Puljujarvi behind the net in Gretzky's office. Puljujarvi over to Seider. Seider trying to put it in front through like 3 players, and of course it gets picked off easily. Natchez now coming back the other way shorthanded. Bumped by Nylander, who comes away with possession. Nylander will enter the territory and still has it. Okay. Nylander over to Seider. Scores! Moritz Seider! What a snipe from the Norris Trophy winning D-man. German engineering, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Power play goal. What a... Poor Kochetkov. What a barrage of shots coming on him. Great pass. And I gotta see that shot slow motion. Was it backhanded? Hold on, let's see this here. Takes it. No, it was not a backhand, but going across the body type of thing. Top shelf blocker side. Wow. What a shot from Seider. Great pass from Nylander. That was not a fraudulent pass, we'll give that. Kochetkov making so many saves. The shots in this one end in Philadelphia's favor, 35-34. But it ends 5 for the final, and the Hurricanes are now down 3-1 in this series, and the Flyers can end it at home in game number 5. So another 1-goal game in this series, 4-3 win, 4-3 loss, 3-2 win, 5-4 win, and by the way, the Leafs have swept the Detroit Red Wings, and they're off to the Eastern Conference Final. So here we go in game number 5, looking to end it at the Wells Fargo Center. We have to win one of the next 3 games. Let's get it done sooner rather than later. Let's get Brisebois back and healthy. Let's do it. We've been having a lot of tight games, close victories. Let's really show the home fans what we have and get them excited for the Eastern Conference Final against a rival in the Toronto Maple Leafs. Can't count the chickens too fast. Can't count those eggs, or whatever the saying is, too quickly. But let's try and get excited. Use that excitement to push yourselves to victory in Game 5. First period, 2-1 Philly. Bach opens up the scoring, but Patrick Laine scores twice within 34 seconds of each other, scoring 2 goals to put us up 2-1. Thank you very much, Mr. Laine. 93 points in the regular season and leading the way here in the postseason. Shots 11-8 after 20. Second period now, 3-2, goal apiece. Necas ties it up, but then the captain puts us back ahead. Claude Giroux makes it 3-2 Philly. Shots are 28-18 Philly after 40, and we're up by 1 here in the third. Make that up by 2 as Joey Pekka makes it 4-2, but Nybeck scoring his first of the series, then Leeson tying it up at 4, and then Ho-Sang 3 goals in less than 2 minutes, but then Decider ties it up at 5. Thank you very much. It's 5-5 with 10 minutes to go. Power play. Bach scores. Not even, was that shorthanded? Bach makes it 6-5 without 4 goals in like 7 minutes. Final minute. Any heroics? What a game. Come on. We had the chance to close it out. Shots 38-29. Demko allows 3 goals within like a minute and 12 seconds? Sider ties it back up and Bach gets the winner at 8:27. Let me see this. At 8:27. So I guess it was still 4-on-4. Yeah, it was 4-on-4. We had a power play, then Puljujarvi got tripping penalty called against him. Another 1-goal game, but this one we could have won. Up 4-2, and then we get outscored 4-2 in the third. And we lose 6-5. Laine a couple goals, Nylander 3 assists, squandering these great games. I don't know who to blame after that one. I should have checked the game log. But a disappointing 6-5 loss in game number 5. Game 6, I don't want to hear it. I'm not even looking. I'm not even waiting. I'm not even taking a sip of water. Game 6 in Carolina. End this now. First period, 1-1. Peterson opens up the scoring. Dobson on the power play. Second period now, 5-2. What are you doing, Thatcher? Bertuzzi, Dobson, and Leeson, 3 goals in 9 minutes. Ev Gascon makes the first appearance by a woman in NHL postseason history. Allows a goal from Teravainen. Oscar Lindblom on that 4th line, the leader with the A on his chest, scores a goal for us to say, oh, we're down 5-1, let's go. We're now down 5-2. It's not over yet, but we're down by 3 headed into the third. Let me see those big dogs. Where are you? Let's go. Let those dogs loose. Let's see some scoring here in the third. We know we can do it. Power play to start things off. Nothing. Okay, Josh Paris brings us within 2. 5-3 Hurricanes. 10 minutes to go. We have 34 shots on net. We can do this, boys. Let's push. Let's push. 2 more goals. Where are the... I was saying, where are the points? Where are the goals? I can't even think. Oh my goodness. With a chance to close it out, we lose 5-3 in Game 6. Being outshot 40-38. 4 second period goals. What is happening? What's going on here? Sider is a +2. Where are the negatives? -3 from Pelech. -2 from Sanheim. Love it. Lovely. Lovely. Demko, what happened to you? 4 goals on 20 shots. That's shocking stuff. With we squander our 2 chances to close out the series, being outscored 11-8 in the last 2 games. 6-5 and 5-3 losses. Best lines down in Lehigh Valley, whatever. And we now, it all comes down to Game 7 now. Is Brisebois back? No, he is not. Do we put him in if it's a playable injury? With a fractured jaw? Come on, you put the little thing around the helmet. If he's there, I'm going to put him. But who's struggling out here? Nylander's great. Peterson, Laine, all great. Paros, 4 goals. Savoie, 3 points in 8 games. Puljujarvi, 3 assists, 14 penalty minutes. That's disgusting. That is really disgusting. Puljujarvi going to the third line. Giroux, you're going second line, left wing. You're going to actually, yeah, left wing because Paros is going to swap there. Puljujarvi going down to the third. Paco play there. 3 assists from Paco. And Pekka has 3 goals. Let's put, can Paco play center? 60 faceoffs. Lindblom 65. 78 from Mayorov. Mayorov's going center. Pekka's going left wing. There we go. Gives it a +1. Okay. Pekka, Frost, Puljujarvi, Lindblom, Mayorov, Paco. Plekhanov +6. Sider +7. 0. -6 from Pelech. -2. -2. Pelech, I guess, are on the third pair, buddy. Let's go. Robertson and Sanheim. Pelech and Risto. With Demko and his 889 save percentage, I'm tempted to put in Gascon, but I'm going to go Demko. Brisebois, actually, I forgot. Brisebois healthy, playable injury. He's coming in. Come on, come on. He's going to, Risto will come out. He's a 0 for the +-. Do we put Pelech back there? Or do we go Sanheim? Let's go Brisebois, Sanheim, and Pelech Robertson. Let's do that. All right, there are the changes, ladies and gentlemen, for Game 7 of this second round. From up 3-1 to now on the brink of elimination. Game 7 at home. It all comes down to this at the Wells Fargo Center. 2 Eastern Conference powerhouses against Toronto, the President's Trophy winner. The winner of this series goes on to face the President's Trophy winning Leafs. Blues versus Ducks in the West. We're the last series that everyone's waiting on. Let's give them something to watch. It is, I didn't see what day of the week it is, but it is everyone's watching it. Sportsnet, ESPN, everyone's watching this one. Game 7, Round 2, defending Stanley Cup champions want to keep it alive. First period, 1-0 Hurricanes. 16-7, the shots for Carolina. Thankfully, only 1 goal against. We have like 3 or 4 goals against in 11 shots, right? So 1 on 16, we'll take that. Let's just let it go. Controller down. 53 seconds in. Jarvis makes Demko! Man. Extended power play. That's it. Good job, guys. Give them like a 6-minute power play. What a disgrace. What a way to end off the postseason. Let's see the penalties in this one. That's it. Nice. Yeah, that's good. Good idea, Robertson. Take a charging major. Then interference from Nylander. We're down by 3. Down by 3. Boys, 57 wins. Stanley Cup rings on most of your hands. We can score 3 in 1 period. We've had 4 against. We can score 3 in 1 period. Let's go. Third period. Show me what you have. Show me what's in the tank. And, of course, what penalty did we... Oh, what? We had the first 4 minutes of the period? We took another penalty? Delay of game. From the half line, how do you take a delay of game penalty from the center line? Being outshot 33-23. 3-0 Hurricanes, 5 minutes in. Let's go. Who has some heroism? Who has some passion? Who has something on that stick? Let's go. Giroux's last game. Let's do it. 10 minutes into the period, no scoring. Just nothing. Nothing. 7.5 minutes to go. I'm going to hop in. There's going to be a lot of nothing that happens, so I'll skip through it. But hopefully the in-game sim will be more kind to us, as we have 7.5 minutes to score 3 goals. I may barely show anything from this sequence of 7.5 minutes if it's just a lot of AI junk, but we're pushing. This is probably our best chance to get 3 goals because the sim was not being kind to us. Leave it all out on the ice, boys. Big hit on Sanheim. Paros, up to Giroux. Let's go, Claude. Away, Claude. Gruy. Gruy, pats in. Away, Miza. You go. Sanheim. Giroux. Oh, that would have been on the doorstep for Paros, but it's broken up. Nachas. Just walk in. Yeah, nice kick save, thankfully. Hosang being pinned. Let's go, Brisebois. Up to Savoie. Savoie to Paros. Just shoot, buddy. Just put the puck on net. I locked onto the coach now because it's a joke. The lines are never changing. Look at the energy on that line. 3.5 minutes, never changing. It doesn't make sense. Teravainen, here you go. Teravainen, nice little move. Sider picks it off. Let's go. Savoie. The guy loves to skate into the glass. He wants to be with the fans more than anything, I think. Put him in the stands, maybe. Jarvis in front, thankfully big save there. Plekhanov, up to Nylander. Let's go, boys. Nylander, put it on net. Windmill. Plekhanov shoots. Glove save Kochetkov. At least there's like our first shot of the whole period. Peterson wins that back to Plekhanov. Sider from the point. Glove save Kochetkov. Another face-off, and I'll actually pull the goalie. With 2:51 to go, either we're getting it or we're not, so we got to put everything out on the line. First line's out. Goalie's been pulled against the third line. Kakanyemi, Gunler, and Leeson. Here we go. Peterson, face-off win. Thank goodness. But can we at least keep possession of the puck? No, Gunler's going to get it. And we're just going to give him his space. Let the guy breathe. There you go. Give him his space. Larson can't get it out of the zone. Let's make a wall at the blue line. Let's not push for the puck. Only Line A is working like a bulldog. Nylander on net, stopped by Kochetkov. Now here's Sider to Line A, big save in front. He clears it out. 2 minutes to go. And yeah, there you go. Let him just walk in. Thankfully, Gunler misses. It's up to Nylander. Trying to skate through people. They're not ghosts, buddy. Minute and a half to go. Dobson, he misses the net. Okay. Sider, another chance for us. Nylander to Line A, to Peterson. Wayne Peterson to Line A. Great opportunity! Can't get his own rebound even to stop. A little toe drag backhand rebound. Yeah, just let him walk in, put it on net. Thankfully, they missed for a third time now. Let's put the third line out. Keep the first D pairing out. Sider, there you go. Nice. That's it. Skate into the conglomeration of people. During a line change, the best thing to do is to skate right to your door with the puck where there's a line change happening. The AI IQ, yeah, that's how long have they been harping on that, EA? 41 to 34. What a joke. With the chance to end it out 3-1. We had a 3-1 series lead. We lose 6-5, 5-3, and 4-0. Outscored 15-8 in the last 3 games. Disgusting. Disgusting efforts. Disgusting efforts. Let's see these plus minuses at the end of the postseason. I'll check in the totals in a second. Let's do the deep pairings. +4, +5 in the top pair. -2, -1 between Brisebois and Sanheim. -7 for Pelech, -2 for Robertson. So I think we can all agree that Pelech is gone this offseason. And Thatcher Demko, I considered putting in Gascon, but a 79 overall in Game 7. After Demko has a shutout, he's been playing well. Couple bad games. He had such a good season. I think it was the right decision to put Demko. Obviously, looking back, you would say Gascon would have been anything better than a 4-0 loss, probably. But he ends with an .893 save percentage, 3.48 goals against average. Really bad. The scoring just did not come through at all. Like Puljujarvi, I've been a big Puljujarvi fan the last few years since he came. He was big when he came as whatever, halfway through the year, or a deadline guy when he came here. He was one of the team leaders in points with like 64. Then he was injured last season, had like 50 some. Then this year, another lackluster season. Maybe we open up a spot in that top 6. We move on from Puljujarvi. Line A, 18 points in 13 games. He deserved better. Peterson, 15. Nylander, 14. Sider, 11. All these guys deserved better. Frost, who had a tough season, had a great postseason. 8 points in 13 games. Giroux, the last dance, 6 points in 13 games. Paros also 6 in 13. Brisebois 4 in 10. Pekka had 3 goals. Savoie 3 points in 9 games. Very disappointing. Puljujarvi 3 points, -6. This season, what did he do? He had 57 points. It was a good year, but he turned into a big playmaker after he came and scored 25 goals. I don't know. He signed for 3 more years after this one at a very reasonable deal. 5.025. Sanheim, Paco, Mayorov, Pelech was disgusting. Plekhanov, Robertson, Douglas. And, of course, Thatcher Demko. Gascon made 17 saves on 18 shots. Maybe it would have been a good idea to put her in. But, I don't know. Game 7, you have your guy. He's been struggling a bit. Gascon 79 overall. I think Demko was the right decision at the time. But that one really, really hurts. So with all that done now, the scouting has been set. We're going to go ahead and simulate to the draft. We'll see what happens in the NHL, the AHL, the awards. We'll see who's up for the draft, and we'll close out this postseason before we get ready for the 2028 offseason and the live 2028-29 season. But for first things first, let's see who wins the Stanley Cup in 2028. And in the end, the Toronto Maple Leafs are your 2028 Stanley Cup champions here in EA land. Let's keep on simming. I'll do some draft interviews if there's anything. Nashville drops from 1 to 2. Winnipeg jumps from 9 to 1. Little draft lottery update there. Now, retired players at the age of 40 in 2028. Is Claude Giroux calling it a career, or is he coming back to play at 41? Claude Giroux, let's see, is calling it a career. The captain, after 1,517 NHL games, scoring 465 goals and 826 assists, 1,291 points. He is retiring at 40 years of age. Was still an 81 overall. Would have had a spot on the fourth line if he wanted to come back. A lot of franchise records that we'll check out later, but the longest serving Flyer in franchise history. What a career. Coming off, ending his career with a 51-point season. Very respectable. 11.3 shooting percentage, 414 power play points, 56% on the face-off dot, through 1,200 hits, 500 blocked shots. What a career for Giroux. In the postseason, his one Stanley Cup ring, we're very proud to have gotten him that. 137 points, 56 goals, 81 assists in 177 games. Great stuff from Claude Giroux. We're very proud of him. Oshie, Ben, Kuznetsov, Tarasenko, a lot of other players retiring here in 2028. And looking at the goaltenders, Ryan Ellis, shout out to him. The goaltenders retiring. We see Varlamov, Leonard, Holtby, Allen, DeSmith, and Lyon. And thank goodness, yes, Claude Giroux is a coach. Yes, Claude Giroux is a coach. We'll hire him right away to be our goalie coach out of the gate, right to our coaching staff. Thank goodness. Claude Giroux is a coach, so that'll be one of the first things that we do next episode in the off season. I'll do a few draft interviews. I don't want to spoil who's in the draft class yet, but I'm going to do a few draft interviews here off screen. Okay, interviews are done, and here we are at the draft. So let's take a little bit of a recap of the 2028 postseason. In the Eastern Conference Final, the Leafs took down the Hurricanes in a 7-game thriller. The Ducks took down the Blues in a 7-game thriller of their own, and then the Leafs beat the Ducks in 6 games. So we have the Ducks' first-round pick. Unfortunately, they missed the playoffs last year. We took their first-round pick. They ended up going to the Stanley Cup Final. Of course, that's a team that we gamble on. So we have 2 late first-round picks this season. Our first and Anaheim's first. Now, the question will be, do we trade one or both of those picks? We'll have to figure that out. So Toronto won the President's Trophy and the Stanley Cup, the first team to do that since the 2025 Washington Capitals. Clarence S. Campbell going to the Ducks, and Prince of Wales going to the Maple Leafs, of course. Individual awards, now we're hoping for... What are we hoping for? Maybe a Vezina from Demko, that's it, because Sider probably lost out to Morgan Riley for the Norris. Art Ross goes to Snoop Michael Oliver for the second time in 3 years. Hart going to Snoop Michael Oliver for the first time, I believe. James Norris, of course, yeah, going to Morgan Riley. Lady Bing to Panarin. Calder to that first overall pick on the Coyotes. Conn Smythe to Austin Matthews. Vezina to Thatcher Demko, the second of his career and his first as a Flyer. Love to see it. Jennings goes to Swayman and Drieger over on the Leafs. Masterton to Siegenthaler. I hope I got that right. That's how I hear it often said. Jack Adams to the coach of the Ducks. Selke going to Eklund for the second straight season. Ted Lindsay to Snoop Michael Oliver. And the third consecutive and fourth in the last 5 years, Maurice Richard going to Snoop Michael Oliver as well. But great to see a Vezina trophy going to a Flyers goaltender, as that has been a very difficult area for the organization in the last few decades. Down in the AHL, any awards for us there? No awards from the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. Actually, how did they do in the postseason? The Gulls won the Calder Cup for the second straight season. Lehigh Valley, the President's Trophy for the third straight year. Best record in the East for the 5th straight year. But it doesn't look like... Did they make the finals? The Atlantic Division champion and Eastern Conference playoff. Okay. All that to say, good season for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. And when it came to their point totals, Jack Quinn, 23 points in 24 games. So now here at the beginning of the 2028 off-season, we have some decisions to make, because headed into next off-season, it'll be the last off-season that we do on YouTube, slowly, I guess, because the year after that, 2028-29 and possibly 2029-30 will both be live here on YouTube. So you can add your thoughts live, but you won't be able to think about it and send a comment as an assistant general manager. So this is where we have to start thinking about the longer term, because GM data, moving on from GM to president of hockey ops sooner rather than later, within the next year or two. Then we do 10 years of simulation to see where we go. So when we're thinking about these long-term players, we think Seider, we think maybe Nylander, like the guys who are signed into 31, 32. We see Savoie, we see Parros. Of course, we'll have Peterson, Brisebois. Those are the guys who we have signed long-term. What are we thinking about Laine? What are we thinking about Nylander? Is Pelech moving out? Is Puljujärvi moving out? Those are the things that we're considering now. All expiring. We have a contract. Hugo Brisebois is in need of a contract. Do we go bridge? I think we do, but we'll probably qualify him and wait because that's a lot of money for what he's asking for right now. He was asking for less at the beginning of the season, but it's always really hard to tell with D, so I prefer to wait, qualify, and take care of in July. But what kind of contract are we thinking, bridge or longer term? Is Sanheim coming back? He's asking for a ton of money. My goodness, with only 14 million to spare as well. That's a lot, but then it leaves holes on the blue line. Plekhanov's going to need some money too. We could go 1 year RFA or try and go longer term on him as well. Ristolainen needs a contract. He's up to an 82 overall. Now, for 1 year, 6 points. See, it's so broken. 1 year, 6.4. 2 years, 3.7. 3 years, 6.4. It's so broken. Hopefully after the draft it should change. So I'm not going to send any offers out right now. Hakana, 81 overall prospect we drafted in the 6th round of 2026. He will be pushing for the NHL next season. He will be in the NHL next season. So keep that in mind. Do we re-sign Cal Foote, who we got at the trade deadline? He could be a cheap option if we move on from Travis Sanheim. In theory, the defense next season, I know I'm going ahead of myself here a little bit. Seider, now up to a 93, by the way. Could be Seider, Brisebois, Plekhanov as the top three. And the other three spots, one would be Robertson. The other two could be Foote. And then one of Risto or Sanheim or Kolyachonok or a free agent signing. When it comes to the forwards, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold on, it's 11. 12 being in the system, 12 being Douglas. So we could probably use another forward unless we call up like Jack Quinn, but now he has bottom 6 potential. Maybe Madden, I don't know. That's another tough one there. Do we move on from Puljujärvi, look to make a splash in the top 6? If we do have 14 million, then we dump Pelech at 5 million. We dump Puljujärvi at 5 million as well. We have 24 million to spend. What positions would you look at targeting? That's for all of you to think about down in the comments on the YouTube video here or over on the Discord server, link in the description as always, as the assistant general managers. Progress reports to close it out. Actually, the draft will close it out, but progress reports right now, we see Seider's up to a 93 overall. Puljujärvi sitting at an 86. I'm not sure how come there's so much modifications for him. There's like 23 modifications, but he hasn't changed an overall. Laine 91, Pekka up to an 80, Brisebois 83, Frost down to an 84, Demko up to an 89. Most of the other overalls still the same. Savoie up to an 86. In the system, we see Hakana at an 81, of course. We saw him. Great growth over the year from him. Not seeing any other big guys who had growth. So, yeah, later guys, low lead potential. This guy Skylar Pan up to a 74. All right, and for the goaltending, we see Lebedev's at a 69 still. Didn't have any growth just yet. We'll have to figure that out in the AHL because now, so probably Orlando Soares at the very least that can be a guy that we think about trading. So if we were to trade, you know, one of our first round picks, one of Pelech or Puljujärvi, even both the first round picks, we throw in the medium elite goalie of Orlando Soares, and then it comes to the draft here. If one of those top teams want to trade a pick, maybe we take an offensive defenseman. Maybe we get, just any defenseman. First overall pick, Brian Ludwig. First overall, he's NHL ready. Great stats in the QMJHL. He's a two-way forward, medium elite. Then you have Matthew Ferraro, offensive defenseman, 5'9", NHL ready, similar to PK Subban. Then there is Mike Parks, 5'8", offensive defenseman. Not the craziest numbers for a C- league. Okay, Vikingstad, a gem at 17 years of age. Ooh, who's NHL ready at 17? But he's a forward. That's where things are a bit more jammed up. Jorge Carlos, 17 years of age, also NHL ready, and he's a gem. That's very tempting too. Then we get into the medium top fours. 2 years away, 3 years away. NHL ready, this guy here, Cavallo, Dale Cavallo. NHL ready defenseman, 18 years of age, two-way D. Moving on, we see 1 year away, 1 year away for these guys here. Right wing sniper, Marc Laperriere. and Melvin Patulny, 6'1" centerman. Okay, there's some options for us later on. Looking at other players who may be NHL ready. This guy, Donald Petrovic, NHL ready, top 4D. Our scouts may have him ranked at 9 from the Dell. NHL ready, 6'4", two-way D. Very tempting options here in the first round. I think we're definitely trading up, and the question is, do we trade up once? Do we trade up twice? And if we do trade up once or twice or more, who are we trading up for? Because our picks right now at these late picks look like guys who are 3 years away. Yeah, 3 years, a couple 2 years away. A lot of 3 years away guys who are just medium top 6, medium top 4D. Nothing that really makes me say I really want to draft this player. Later on in the draft, if we see into the second round, nothing really standing out aside from the medium top 6s, which is good. It's good to have those guys scouted. We have guaranteed medium league goalie at 146, Nikolai Valentenko at 146. Some other guys who are 3 bars medium elite. Some guaranteed low elites, a couple low elites guaranteed going late. McCulloch and Zach Corso, 2 low elites that will guaranteed get. Some other guys that will take some chances on along the way as well. Yeah, some gems, medium top 6s that will be going later. It's, 119, 122. Yeah, we're definitely be taking those guys. Now, the question is, are we trading up? Like I just said, how many times will we trade up and who will we trade up for? If you want more information on any of those prospects, leave a comment. Get your comments in ASAP because, like I said, the 2028 offseason will be up on Thursday, but maybe if there's really a lot of thoughts, I'll push it to Friday. That schedule I showed at the beginning is a bit of a tentative schedule. It could be moved to Friday, but guaranteed the 2028-29 season, including the playoffs, and maybe more into the 2029-30 season. That will be live here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern, Saturday night on October 8th. Here's the schedule again. I misspoke at the beginning, but if you're looking on the screen, it was right for the NHL 23 release date. It's not October 13th, it's October 14th, so that'll give me an extra day, thankfully. I did not pre-order the game. You have to pre-order the X Factor edition to get the 3 days of early access. $50 extra for 3 days early access for a game that's probably broken in the first 3 days. Honestly, not worth it, but I'll go ahead and stop rambling there. So the Stanley Cup defense ends in a round 2 game 7 exit in heartbreaking fashion. We're up 3-1, we lose 4-3. We want to come back and win 2 cups in 3 years and maybe even more. So leave your thoughts for the current Flyers and the future Flyers down in the comments or over on the Discord server. And I thank you so very much for taking the time to watch. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again in the next one, where we will have the last YouTube upload before the live and then the series finale for NHL 22. And of course, don't forget to follow the link in the pinned comment to cast your vote on which team we'll be taking control of first in NHL 23.